Hello and welcome to Parallax, where we look at life from how we work. Joining us today is Arthur Morgan. Arthur is the chief developer and founder of Gather Baltimore. It's a nonprofit in Baltimore City. Arthur, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, appreciate it, thanks.
Tell me a little bit about what Gather Baltimore does.
Well, basically right now we are growing and doing a lot of different things. We started off trying to just get excess food that was being wasted to bigger food kitchens, different organizations that needed healthy food. And now since we've grown, we've stretched out to a lot more people as far as we're not just getting leftovers from farms or farmers markets. We're going to major distributors, grocery stores, like any possible place that would have excess healthy food that's going to waste.
Talk a little bit about where some of this food is coming from that you're getting. Talk about the different streams that you...
Well, we kind of started in the beginning when it was just Crop Circle, Hamilton Crop Circle, and we were doing our vacant lot programs and growing a little bit of food. And we saw that we had excess food, which then allowed us to, start a farm stand at the farmers market downtown. And then you meet all the farmers there that have so much excess food. So then we kind of saw that as far as so much was being wasted and so many people needed the food. Then we would see how many people actually needed it for different programs, and the farmers would talk about that this is just a portion of the food that they bring to market to sell, but there's even more food at their farms that they can't even get to. We've reached out now to some of the major distributors, which are the people who get food basically from everywhere on the planet, because they're the ones that supply food to all the local food chains here, all the stores and restaurants. And the amount of excess they have is hard to even describe. You wouldn't believe it unless you saw it, and then you still wouldn't believe it.
So where's this food going after you've collected this food, for whether it's a gleaning event or a purveyor or food distributor, what have you? Where is this food ending up?
It's a lot of variables. There really are. Just because there are so many people that can use the food and need the food for their own programs, or whether or not it's just people who are living in the food deserts that just have no access to healthy food at all. So we've done a lot of different projects, and we're still learning what is the best way to get people who need food in the city, but then also you're dealing with the dynamics of people aren't used to having that food. So just because you give people healthy food or get them healthy food doesn't mean that that's going to be all the answers to what you think are the problems. Then we go to larger programs that distribute food through their meal programs. And now we have at Mill Valley General Store, we have it's the Gather Baltimore Healthy City Blue Bag program, which is where we're making, if everyone's ever been to IKEA, the blue IKEA bags. So we will portion out different fruits and vegetables, and it changes every week.
So there's two sides to a nonprofit organization. There's the mission, which you're obviously very passionate about, but there's also having the process of administrating it, of fundraising for it. Talk a little bit about that role that you have to play in Gather Baltimore.
That is like the reality that is becoming true. In the beginning when we had a couple of grants that came in, and then I received my OSI fellowship, and that helped. I listened, but I didn't listen as much as I should have to all the people who know how the nonprofit world works. I mean, they talk about that in the beginning, your heart and what it is that you truly care about is why you hopefully start these things. But then if you do succeed and grow, then all of a sudden it takes so much to keep everything going. We started out with me and a pickup truck getting a couple bins of food and calling all my buddies to come help with their trucks to now it's like we have 2 refrigeration trucks, we have a warehouse, we have walk-in coolers, we have wall coolers, we have freezers, insurance, fuel, trying to generate enough income. We have a America or a Vista person right now. We're trying to get some funding just to keep everything going. Because in the beginning, we also weren't able to buy everything new. Like, you know, our trucks are 15 years old. All of our walk-ins were where people were just, you know, we broke them apart and put them back together. And so fundraising becomes a huge part of keeping your organization going. So that's why we do have the donations that we ask to keep the bags going. But with Kickstarter, we're definitely going to do another Kickstarter project and show people at all different levels what are things that we need. We're going to try and be as transparent as we can and start with a certain goal, but let people see our entire budget so they can see where the money does go. And it takes a lot to keep an organization going, even when you have volunteers showing up every day.
Thank you for your work, and thank you for coming on the show and talking to us. You can find out more information about Gather Baltimore at their website, gatherbaltimore.com, or you can find them on Facebook by searching for Gather Baltimore. And until next time, keep it between the white line and the ditches.